Hey Facebook, what's going on? It is time for a live nutrition and fitness Q&A video because I have a lot of people that I promised I would answer their questions. So here we are, and I have them all written down on my laptop. So if you see me looking yonder, it's because I'm looking at the questions that y'all have been sending me. If anyone watching this has any questions, feel free to type them in. However, I am on a bit of a time crunch because I have clients coming up, so I'm just kind of like in between things right now. So I will do the best I can. But basically, as I go about my everyday life, people ask me questions all the time, and I don't always have time to answer them right then and there. But I say, you know what? Let me answer that in a Facebook Live Q&A. So this is similar to what I do in my Charge Up Challenge in my online nutrition program. But there it's more structured, and I go through things more in depth. So this is just kind of like a little sneak preview of what I do over there. In case you like my style, I can help you more in depth on that Facebook page, which is a private page. So the first question is from Mariah. So she was asking me about some good protein powders. Now, I have always been a fan of getting my protein from real food. Now, with that being said, the protein powders that I use are collagen protein powders. Mariah was specifically asking for a plant-based protein, and I don't use a plant-based protein, but the one that I recommend is by Garden of Life. That's a pretty good one. And then as far as why I don't use whey-based protein powders is because whey is based off of dairy. And a lot of times people, whether they're lactose intolerant or not, have problems breaking down lactose. So basically, as we age, basically after the age of 18, our body loses the enzyme that breaks down lactose. And we have problems digesting it. And so people can all of a sudden like hit this point where like, oh wow, I'm having digestive issues eating cheese, drinking milk, and I never had that before, or my skin is breaking out, or my stomach is always feeling bloated. And it's linked to the dairy they're consuming, and they have no idea because sometimes it takes several hours, if not days, after you eat something for the bad physical symptom to show in the body. So for example, you consume dairy right now, and then you might not notice the bloating for several hours after, and it can stay with you for days after, or your face might not break out until 2 to 3 days after. So that's why food can be so complicated and nutrition can be so complicated. So I don't use dairy. I recommend most people don't use whey-based protein. Now, if you are to get like a good grass-fed whey-based protein, that could be an option. Everyone's a little bit different, but I have my protein powders right here that I use. Check this guy out. So I love this one to make desserts and to make ice cream with frozen bananas. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It makes the desserts chewier. It makes the milkshake made out of frozen banana fluffier, and it gives it protein. So I love using this one specifically in the desserts because it just gives it a better texture. Now, quality-wise, Vital Proteins, I really like this one right here. It is from grass-fed cows. I think that one is from chicken. So this is a grass-fed cow-based collagen powder. Yes, it's Vital Proteins. And this one here is Ancient Nutrition. Both of them are unflavored. I'm just not always a fan of using like all these flavorings and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. And then Mariah also is asking about a cleanse. So I will do like my bone broth fast from time to time. And I would say I do it about once a month where I am eating basically nothing but bone broth, vegetables, and oils, and avocado, and occasionally some nuts and seeds, although I really do try to limit those down to like almost nothing when I'm on the bone broth fast. And I just feel so much better by the end of the fast. My cravings have gotten cut in half. I noticed that the blood sugar is very stable. So yeah, I love the bone broth fast. I walk people through how to do that. on a YouTube video, and then I also talk more about like the benefits of my online program and my Charge Up Challenge program. So that's where I get a little bit more in depth on the bone broth fast and some of its benefits. But then Mariah asked about a cleanse. Lately, a lot of people have been asking me about cleanses. And so the one that I use every 3 months is from Advocare. And I basically, so like if y'all have heard of the 24-day challenge, this is just the first 10 days of it. And that's basically all I do. I just do the first 10 days of that every 3 months. And I've been doing this for like the last 5-6 years. So this is my favorite. It's an herbal-based tablet that you take at night right before bed. And that's essentially all I do every 3 months is just take that herbal tablet every 3 months before bed. And it really does make a noticeable difference in my health and my energy. And I feel less bloated. I feel just a clean, good energy. So I really do like this. It has things like milk thistle, which is really good for the liver. And your liver health is so, so important for your overall health, your energy, and your metabolism, because your liver is the part of the body that converts your T4, which is one of your thyroid hormones, into T3, which is an active thyroid hormone. And so if you want to have high T3 levels, which you do, hint, hint, because that will give you more metabolism or higher metabolism and higher energy, then you gotta take care of your liver, and doing things like eating vegetables, like dandelions especially, and doing this puppy right here can help with that because of the milk thistle in there. So next question, also from Mariah. Let me see if you were asking another question, Mariah. Oh no, those are all your questions. Cool. So the next question is, let me see if I can remember this off the top of my head. I remember the gist of it, but let me try to remember the exact wording. The question was, is it true that running for 1 hour impairs muscle gain or muscle growth, or basically like makes you lose your muscle? So this is a loaded question. There's no yes or no answer to this, but running excessively definitely does set back muscle gaining goals. So it depends on how nourished your body is going into it. So if you are running for an hour, yes, you are going to be at a higher risk of breaking down muscle, but you'll really, really reduce that risk if you do some of the following things. One, if you are nourished properly, specifically in the department of protein and carbohydrates. So it also is going to depend on the intensity of the running. So if you're running at a very slow, gradual pace for an hour, your risk of breaking down muscle will be much lower. The higher the intensity of the running, the more your body prefers to use carbohydrates for fuel. Now, the reason why that can put your body at a really high risk of breaking down muscle is because your body goes through this process called gluconeogenesis, where it converts amino acids into carbohydrates or into glucose specifically. It doesn't just have to be amino acids. It can be other bodily substrates. I don't know what the proper term would be, but it can be other things that is converted into glucose. But amino acids, aka your muscle tissue is built of amino acids, that can get converted into glucose when the body needs to make quick energy. So when you're running, especially as the intensity upticks, your body is going to pull more from glucose, and if it doesn't have enough glucose, aka if you didn't eat enough carbs, then your body's going to start attacking its own muscle tissue and convert that into glucose for energy. Now, the lower the intensity, the more your body can use the aerobic pathway to create ATP, which is energy, meaning your body can actually use more fat for fuel if you're going at a lower intensity. Now, a lot of times when I say that, people think, oh, well, if running fast or if doing high intensity stuff means that I have a high risk of breaking down muscle, and lower intensity means I'll burn more fat for fuel, let me never do anything high intensity. Unfortunately, the body is more complicated than that, and you will be doing yourself a disservice if you never do any high intensity exercise if muscle building and fat loss is your goal, okay? So back to the question at hand, which was about if running for an hour makes you lose all of your muscle. No, it doesn't make you lose all of your muscle though. And what I do when I run, which by the way, I rarely run anymore. I ran for the first time in forever. I want to say like a week ago. And it was actually really interesting that I was like, you know what, my endurance is still really high because I go hard on leg day, and that is some serious cardio right there. All the lunges that I do with dumbbells, yeah, that will make your cardio boost. So I have to keep an eye on the time because I have a client yonder in 10 minutes. So, but that's my life for you. There was another point I wanted to make. Oh yeah, so if I'm gonna run, I will take amino acids before I run. And it's just like a pill that I take, amino acids, and you eat amino acids every time you eat chicken, eggs, any kind of protein. So there's nothing like weird and crazy about this supplement, but it's just a basic amino acid supplement. If anyone needs a good quality recommendation, shoot me a message as far as the supplements go. I can share a couple things with you that I've been using. I've always used the Advocare, the Catalyst, but recently I've been going back and forth between that and another one. They just have like a different profile of amino acids. And so there's multiple, I think there's like 20 something amino acids. I want to say 21, but don't quote me on that. But so there's several different amino acids. And so it's good to have a complete profile of amino acids in the body. Some are better than others for different things. So like, leucine is really, really helpful for muscle purposes, such as like reparation or repairing the muscles. Leucine can be really beneficial over like other amino acids. The amino acids in collagen are not really that good for muscle building, but they are really good for hair, skin, nails, and your gut lining. So see, different amino acids do different things. But point of my story, if y'all need a recommendation, then shoot me a message. The other company that I've been using is called Performance Lab, and I recently reached out to them and I was like, yo, let me get a discount on your stuff. Ask and you shall receive. And they gave me a discount code for myself and my clients. So if y'all want a discount on that, then you can message me. I'm not going to post it on my page. They actually asked me not to post this one publicly because, I don't know, they gave me the whole yada yadas. But anyway, so message me so I can send it to you privately. The next question, and okay, so, oh man, I have two more I want to get through. Maybe if I go quickly, I can. So Jose was asking me about some good, healthy school lunch meals that he can prep for his kids because he's new to this whole thing and he's trying to stay away from microwavable foods. P.S. I'm a bad cook. I love the P.S. First of all, kudos to you for cooking healthy, or for at least having the desire to cook healthy for your kids. The future version of your kids will thank you for that, and you'll thank yourself for it too. Because what your kids are eating is going to drastically affect their quality of life at school. And I know this because I teach nutrition at 3 different campuses through Xavier Academy, but at 3 different campuses. And so Monday through Wednesday, I teach the kids, and I've really been showing them and explaining to them how the reason that a lot of times that they have problems focusing, or they're not in a good mood, or they're not feeling well, is because they're putting crap in their body. And so I'll ask these kids, like, what are you eating? And I am like, oh my goodness, are you really, like, you're living off of this? Like, they have no nutrition in their food. It's so sad. So we're working on it, but they're getting better and they're starting to open their eyes to it. So anyway, I actually just put together a little food shopping list and a few recipes that are kid friendly, and I sent them to the parents at the school. So let me just pull it up here. And what I'll end up doing is I will post it as a comment on this page as soon as I end this live video. So let me just pull it up here. So it's basically a kid and a family-friendly food shopping list and a couple really simple recipes. One of the recipes is actually the breakfast milkshake using the frozen bananas. And you can either use egg whites or collagen protein powder, because getting your protein is key. So you can choose. I've been doing the 1 whole egg and like half to 3/4 a serving of the collagen powder, and I'm looking over there because I see it right there, and it is so good with the frozen bananas. It tastes just like a milkshake, and I've actually made this for the kids at the school several times and they love it. So your kids will like it too, and it's so easy. All you have to do is throw it in a blender. It's a really good breakfast that you can make in like 5 minutes or less. You just have to make sure that you put the bananas in the freezer the night before, and I highly recommend peeling the bananas first. Otherwise, it's going to take you like 10 minutes to make it because you're going to have to, dig and try to unpeel the banana. The other recipes I have, I'm just going to read the names and I'll post the recipes here in a comment below. It's called a tasty tuna treat, and it uses primal mayonnaise, which you can get at HEB. Oh my gosh, that is a game changer. It's basically taking something that's unhealthy for you, aka Hellmann's mayonnaise. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, why are you gonna make this crap, and why are people gonna eat it? Because in the Hellmann's mayonnaise, they have, I'm trying to copy this so I can paste it on the Facebook page, or on as a comment on this video. So in Hellmann's mayonnaise, or any other like standard mayonnaise that you get at a restaurant or at the grocery store, they're gonna have very inflammatory ingredients in there. Like, they'll have the most inflammatory oils because they're the cheapest, and a bunch of other preservatives and crap that your body doesn't know what to do with. It wasn't meant to go in your body. And so the primal mayonnaise, which you can get at HEB for my Texas people, you can get it at, I don't know, for my Florida people or elsewhere, you can probably get it at Publix. I forget the stores in Florida. I don't know if Walmart has it. I don't think Walmart's on that level. But it has avocados and eggs as the ingredients. You can't go wrong there. Unless you have an egg sensitivity. Then you can go wrong there. So I copied it. I'm going to paste it. Whoa, this is crazy. I see myself live here as I'm live. Okay, so I'm going to paste this food shopping stuff. Let me see if it comes out. Oh my gosh, it's like a huge long comment. I don't know if this will, it's a lot of stuff on here. I think it's going to post though. So it doesn't look pretty because it was actually in a chart when I had it in this document, but I'm just going to post it. Voila, so it's already posted. It should be posted as a comment now on this page here. Yep, it posted. Cool, so you can look at that for some really good kid-friendly recipes, and honestly adult-friendly recipes as well, that are really easy to make. Another one on there, I think, was like spaghetti and meat sauce, and there was, my birthday brownie recipe that I made for myself on my birthday. So good. Made out of sweet potatoes, bananas, cocoa powder. So good. Okay, last question. Oh man, I really am not going to have time to do this question justice because I have my client, but I'm going to start answering it. So Diana, who is a member of my Faith and Fitness group that I do every Saturday, Faith and Fitness for Females, by the way. She says, I'm a diabetic and I've always heard that the keto diet doesn't work well with diabetics. Maybe I was wrongly informed or just didn't understand. I'm working at trying to do away with sugars. Does keto help with that? So I think keto is an amazing tool in the toolbox. I don't think anyone should be on it long term, but yes, keto actually can really help with some diabetics. Now, it is complicated. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of a thing, and you have to make sure you're doing it properly. And it can actually not work so well for some diabetics if your inflammation is just so incredibly high and your system is really out of whack. So that would be like, definitely you would want to ask your doctor this question. You would want to start there. And I highly recommend getting a doctor that is at least knowledgeable in how nutrition can be used as a tool to heal the body. That is so important, so important, because nutrition is the best medicine most times. Not all the time, but most times nutrition can be amazing medicine. So I would start there with asking your doctor, but yes, at the very least you could do is, if you are gonna eat carbs like sweet potatoes, quinoa, squashes, fruits and veggies, specifically fruits like berries, and things that are lower in the glycemic index, apples, oranges, and trying to stay away from things like watermelon or pineapple or the really sugary fruits like that. And really the only time I eat bananas is pre or post workout, and I have healthy blood sugar levels so my body can process that. So bananas are going to be, starchier, but they're a great, intro workout, or they're a great, fruit for around workout time. So with that being said, I will give that question a little bit more answer soon. But for those of you that like this style of coaching, this is just like a little sneak preview. I'm trying to get my phone off the tripod because I gotta go. This is just like a little sneak preview of what I do for my Charge Up Challenge group, my Charge Up Challenge peeps, and I have like a whole series of little 5-minute videos where I really walk someone through a good health plan for them, because knowledge is power, and I want to teach everyone how to make eating healthy taste good and be a sustainable lifestyle type of a thing. Okay, now that my phone is off the tripod, I'll do another Q&A later. If anyone has questions, inbox them to me. I don't always read my messages, but when I have time, I do. So if I don't see or respond to your message, don't take it personally, but I will try my very best to get to them when time allows. All right, see y'all later.